Welcome to the midnight tide, where shadows whisper, darkness hides. We're diving deep into the unknown, on a journey you're not alone. From haunted halls to specters lost, we'll guide you through the eerie frost, with tales that chill and spirits roam. A freaking awesome paranormal show. Ghostly whispers, ancient tomes, mysteries in haunted homes. Brace yourselves, it's time to go. The freaking awesome paranormal show. The freaking awesome paranormal show. Ghostly whispers, ancient tomes, mysteries in haunted homes. Brace yourselves, it's time to go. The freaking awesome paranormal show. The freaking awesome paranormal show. Welcome to the midnight tide, where shadows whisper, darkness hides. We're diving deep into the unknown, on a journey you're not alone. From haunted halls to specters lost, we'll guide you through the eerie frost, with tales that chill and spirits roam. The freaking awesome paranormal show. Ghostly whispers, ancient tomes, mysteries in haunted homes. Brace yourselves, it's time to go. The freaking awesome paranormal show. The freaking awesome paranormal show. Ghostly whispers, ancient tomes, mysteries in haunted homes. Brace yourselves, it's time to go. The freaking awesome paranormal show.
The engine is starting up.
For launch. GC. Go. Guidance. Go. Fido. Go. Prop. Go. GNC. Go. Max. Go. Eagle. Go. Ecom.
Go pending final steps to cabin link check.
2, 1.
Is there anyone here that would like to communicate with us? Can you give us a sign?
Welcome to the Rift Nation Network, the RNN, putting a slide in your glide and a dip in your hip. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe. With shows throughout the week, you can find us at Instagram, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and more. Everything you could want, everything you could need right here, right now. From the paranormal to the supernatural, from comedy to the spiritual. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
It's showtime, folks!
Podcast may contain material that some listeners may find sensitive, offensive, or disturbing. We strive to create respectful and informative content, but topics discussed may include mature themes such as violence, explicit language, or controversial subjects, triggering content including discussions related to mental health, trauma, or other sensitive issues, explicit language. Occasionally, our guests or hosts may use strong language. While we aim to handle these topics with care and empathy, we encourage listeners to exercise discretion If you find any content distressing, consider skipping or seeking support. Remember that this podcast is not a substitute for professional advice. If you need assistance, please consult a qualified expert.
What is up, all you freaks out there? This is Ryan.
Hello, everybody.
There we go. All right, that's better. That is better. Sorry. Welcome, Ashley Herndon, special guest.
Hello.
co-host.
I was just jamming to the song. I really like the music for your video.
Yeah, it was like spooky, like ghoul beach party or something like that.
I love it.
Yeah, it reminds you of like Scooby Doo. Like
yeah, I was
kinda,
thinking it just reminds me of some kind of like spooky show. I couldn't figure it out, but it is really good.
It's got that vibe to it. So how are you doing today?
I'm tired. I just got off of work and here I am. I'm excited.
I definitely appreciate you coming on with us tonight and joining us.
No, I'm excited. I'm happy to be here.
Man, it has been a day.
Mm-hmm.
It has been a day. I want to give a shout out to Howie and Susan from the Reft Nation Network. They were helping me out today because for some reason, I don't know why, my two pages, the Freakin Awesome Paranormal Show and my personal page, hey Lois, they are not connecting to the StreamYard. So we are live on the Ref Nation page. We're live on my YouTube page, but not my two Facebook pages. And they were they're working hard trying to figure out what was going on. So I definitely appreciate that. And we've got Crossover Paranormal in the house. What is up? Welcome to the show. We've got some awesome stuff to talk about today. It is tax day. And everyone's favorite holiday all time. And let me tell you how crappy these holidays are. Okay, it's tax day.
Mm-hmm.
It's also National Bunion Day.
Oh God.
Yeah. Yeah. So
you're in pain while you do your taxes.
Yes, and National Laundry Day. So this day is just full of excitement.
Oh my God, that's if I could have anything, it'd be somebody to do my laundry for me and my kids. Like it's never ending.
I think either laundry, because I don't know, laundry I can just put into the washing machine and forget about it. But doing the dishes, that right there.
That's why dishwasher. Yeah. I invested in a good dishwasher.
Yeah, the dishwasher. But our sink stays full.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
Never ending. So just to add on to the goodness of paying taxes, we get to appreciate the goodness of bunions and laundry. So happy days. You, my friend, are the host of the Uncharted Realms podcast on Friday night on the Rift Nation Network. Why don't you let the people know about your show and what they can expect when they tune in?
Yeah, so this week I have something special. I've studied this case a while. We're going to talk about the Dalatov incident that happened back in the 1950s with the hikers that disappeared and they were found days later, and some of them didn't have eyes or tongues, and their clothes had radiation, and it's a lot to go with that case. And I'm excited to break it down and talk about it. It even talks about Yetis, so it'll be fun.
You have any theories?
There's a couple of, I kind of lean towards like a spy theory, and then there's a lot to talk about with the radiation and the clothes linked to UFOs, but there's also like a sound frequency thing that happens on those mountains. So I think it could have caused them to be delirious. So there's like a paranormal and a scientific side.
That's what we call a good teaser.
Yeah.
To find out more, tune in.
Yeah, I have
Friday.
a lot of photos too, guys.
That's exciting. I'm getting excited for that. Yeah, so anything exciting happened this weekend? Anything fun happened to you?
What happened this weekend? No, it was pretty late. I was pretty lazy this weekend. I took a lazy weekend.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. The most exciting thing we did was Saturday. We went to go see the Minecraft movie.
Ooh. Was it good? Is it worth it?
I mean, good is kind of a relative term.
Yeah.
I mean, it would tell you what, I don't play Minecraft, but I was entertained by it.
Yeah, my kids play Minecraft. My son loves it, so I'm thinking about taking him.
There was reports of people going absolutely nuts. Like last weekend, there were videos of like kids throwing popcorn and like literally throwing buckets of popcorn everywhere during the movie. It was nuts.
I couldn't imagine. I was thinking about it, and I was like, do I really want to go? Maybe.
I mean, it was calm. It calmed down. People, there was no one acting like that when we went, but
right.
It's like, kids, they want to be famous. They want to do stuff to get clicks and stuff like that. So
yeah,
they're willing to do more and more crazy stuff that ends up hurting other people.
Yeah, it ruins their experience.
Just to get that their get follows or likes or something on a video. So
yeah, it's bad.
And it's Minecraft, so kids are going crazy over that. But like I said, I enjoyed it. It was I didn't. How you go to a movie and you don't like it. When you don't like it, the time seems just to go by super slow.
Yeah.
You notice every minute you keep looking down your phone or whatever to see what time it is. It wasn't like that. It was a fun experience.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, if I don't like it, you'll find me over here like this.
I'm always afraid people actually hear me snoring.
Yeah. They threw popcorn at me.
Yeah, exactly. Wake up. Let's see here. So let's say hi to Teresa from Canada, Miss Michelle Wilfong. Hello. Irene coming in all the way from Japan. Lois Clark's in the house. Crossover Paranormal Society is here. Angela Ellison is in the house tonight. We've got an awesome show for you. I'm gonna go ahead and bring our guest on. This is her name is Danielle Bruca. Ooh. She is make sure I get that last name right. Danielle Bruca. She is part of the Haunted Beattie Mansion, the Beattie Mansion. I add the haunted part. The Beattie Mansion. It is a paranormal location in Missouri, and I actually found them on TikTok. Sent her a message. Hey, do you want to come on the show? And she was nice enough to join us today.
I love it. I'm excited.
Welcome.
Hi, y'all.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hello.
Happy National Bunyan Day.
Excellent.
And
yeah, we know how to party here in the Freakin Awesome Paranormal Show, as you can tell. Celebrating Bunions and stuff. So we have a few things we have to get out of the way. Some a little like a to-do list, laundry list of stuff we need to get taken care of. The first is the Freakin Awesome playlist. So for those of you who don't know, I host a show with Howie, Odell, and Rhonda the second Tuesday of every month, where we do like a different theme, but we it's like a music show, and each show has a different theme to it. Like last month was 1980s road trip music. So we enjoy sharing music with people, and we like to talk about different types of music and stuff like that. So, but we do it once a month. So we figured, why not just suggest songs every show? So what we're going to do is I'm going to suggest a song, and then Ashley, and then we're going to start having our guests suggest their song as well. So actually, Danielle, you're the first guest to suggest their song for us.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then I think at the end of the year, I'm going to take all the songs and make a Spotify playlist of all the songs that we put together on the list. Mm-hmm. So I figured that'd be something fun to do. The first song we have from Howie is The Fix, Reach the Beach.
Ooh, right in time for summer.
Yes. That's FIXX, The Fix. My song is Storms in Africa by Enya.
Ooh, that's a good one too.
So I'm going to let Ashley go, and then I'll get yours, Danielle.
So I'm really in a Stevie Nicks phase right now. I'm always in a Stevie Nicks phase.
You're
I'm
born in Stevie Nicks phase.
Which one do I want? I'm going to go with Dreams. That's one that's really sticking out to me right now.
All right, good.
I like a whole bunch of them, but she's my girl.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with Stevie Nicks.
Yeah.
You could have picked any song that would have been awesome.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Danielle?
Fly Me to the Moon, Frank Sinatra.
Ooh,
Got the big move going on.
Yes, that's a good one.
Awesome sauce. Beautiful. And the freaking awesome question of the day. All right. So we are getting close to Easter. This is Sunday. This is the Easter special, guys. The Freakin Awesome Paranormal. What's your favorite / least favorite Easter candy?
Favorite Easter candy is anything like the Reese's eggs. They're my favorite in the freezer. Least favorite is I hate Peeps.
Hey, Kevin. Let's see. Mine is the peanut butter eggs are mine.
Mm-hmm.
And God.
Mm-hmm.
What's the least favorite? I mean, black jelly beans is so like obvious. Man.
Yeah.
Anything like, I guess, the Peep flavor or marshmallow flavored things. So I guess Peeps. Oops.
Very anti-Peeps here.
Yeah. Although I've had Peeps that I actually do kind of like, or I don't hate, I should say. So, how about you? What's your favorite, Danielle?
I like the robin eggs. Those are probably my favorite. And then I have to go with the Peeps or anything marshmallow.
Woo! We all agree.
Yes, we are not big fans of marshmallows.
No.
So
the only way I'm eating a marshmallow is on a s'more.
Yes. Yeah, I can eat marshmallows on a s'more. If it's on fire, I don't mind a marshmallow. I like a nice dark, like burnt marshmallow between crackers and chocolate. And that's
yes,
nice and sticky. Ooh, that's awesome.
Teresa likes marshmallow chocolate covered bunnies.
Covered in maple syrup, probably. She's from Canada. So as I was saying earlier, Danielle, I reached out to you to come on the show and talk about the Beattie Mansion. How did you get involved with the property?
The manager, Marianne, we go way back, and she had posted on Facebook she was looking for some help and didn't really say what it was. So I replied and see where I could help with her, and it ended up being here, and it's been an interesting ride ever since.
Did you know anything about the mansion before you joined in, or when you got? Did you know any of the history of it?
Not a lot. I grew up on this street, just a few blocks up. My daughter still lives just a few blocks away. And I didn't really know. I knew the building was here and what it looked like. I had actually seen a television show. What is it called? My Horror Story with Kelly Matthews, where this house was in it. And I wanted to watch it because I grew up, right up the street. And so I was in it.
Was there a reputation of it being haunted before you watched the show?
That I had heard of, but after getting involved and meeting people and learning about the history, and it's the history of the hauntings go back clear to the 1800s. So yeah, I learned a lot after I got involved. There's definitely an air about the place. You drive by and there's this stone wall. It's probably 2 stories tall. That it.
Oh, wow.
And then this huge brick mansion on top of this hill. So it definitely catches your eye, especially with all the metals, fire escapes, and everything. The big porches. It's an eye catcher.
Can you
The interesting facts about the family that originally lived there?
Exactly. Good question.
So Eliza and Armstrong Beattie had built a place in 1854. He was St. Joe's. He opened St. Joseph's First Bank, and he was the mayor of St. Joe 5 times. They never had children. They lived here from 1854. He passed away from cholera in 1878. And she passed away. She fell down the stairs shortly after he had passed away, and she had passed away too. About a couple years later, nieces and nephews had taken care of hers. So once she was gone, that's when it went into its next phase of existence. But so when they had passed away, when they both were buried at Mount Morris Cemetery, which is here in St. Joseph, and it's a beautiful cemetery with mausoleums, has a millionaire row right down the middle of it. It's gorgeous, but they didn't have any markers. So if you go to the Mount Morris website, it'll show on Armstrong's grave information about how he was seen coming back and forth between the cemetery and this house.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, the big monument. And about 10 years later, the citizens of St. Joe went ahead and paid for them to have monuments and have a proper resting place.
I bet they're thankful for that. Probably
Yeah.
about time. Aw.
Yeah, it seems like for some reason that falling down the steps was a very common thing to happen back in the 1800s. I've seen there are a lot of people who died from falling down the steps. You don't really hear about that much anymore.
Maybe we have better safety standards.
Yeah.
Those long skirts have got to be easy to trip up over when you.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, and the tiny shoes.
Especially holding a lantern or like a candle, trying to get the steps in the dark. I'd probably.
That's
fall
probably
down
why they
too.
fell so much. Now we have good lighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. Well, so they passed away when did they first start noticing paranormal activity in the house?
Well, the next phase that it went into in 1882, the Ladies Union of the Benevolent Association opened up Home of the Friendless here in this home. They took in homeless and distressed citizens, orphans. St. Joseph's first orphanage took orphans from here and started the Noise Home, which is still in operation today. And then from there, for about 1895, it turned into Memorial Home of the Aged, basically a retirement home, or I don't know what else to call it. But for 100 years, it ran that way. And if you go to newspapers.com or anything, you will find tons and tons of obituaries. Like, I got tired of trying to put all that information together of residents who had lived out their last years here in this home. So that closed out about 1995. It was a rehab halfway house for a while. It was a frat house. And then Michael Burkhart, who owns it now, in 2004, he had bought the place and he wanted to turn it into a bed and breakfast. So that is when, as far as when the stories start for me, of people that I've actually spoke to. I've heard some people that had stayed here when it was a rehab said there was that had happened unexplainable things. But when Michael had bought this place to turn it into a bed and breakfast, he couldn't keep construction workers. They would not stay and finish jobs. There's like fixtures around this place that were supposed to be part of the remodel to turn it into a bed and breakfast that never did get used. Kelly Matthews worked for him, and he was on the My Horror Stories show, and he discussed all the things that he went through while he stayed here, knocking on the doors, the dogs losing their minds, seeing people around the home that aren't there physically. And instead of a bed and breakfast, it has turned into what it is now. And he is still the owner. I actually talked to him this Halloween about this home, and I asked him if he was even a believer before he bought this place, and he said he was not. This place turned him into a believer.
Oh, it's always the bed and breakfasts.
Well, I think we have 30 rooms. I don't know if that's the exact amount, but there's 3 stories and it's 19,000 square feet. There's a lot of space here to do that if he could have gotten it remodeled when he started.
Did you guys get any cool evidence on like camera or anything like that so far?
I haven't even been here that long, and I've gotten a few interesting things. I had sent one where, I perceive it as as child sitting on a male figure's lap. And I didn't send this other one. Actually, this Saturday, it looks like something's walking across. I put a Tesla coil in the hallway upstairs, and it looks like something's walking back and forth to it and away from it. And we actually had the doors closed to the rooms on each side to not have light reflection and everything while we were watching it from downstairs.
All right. I don't know which one's which, so I'm just going to send the first one I have here. Okay.
Okay.
And see if that is.
I think they're both the same thing. One slowed down more than the other. So that night we came in we drove out during a thunderstorm, and where you see the white, when we slowed it down, I'm going to point at it like anybody can see. At the very end, see right there, you see the couch and the chair. At the very end of that video, what it appears to be like almost coming out of the floor, and where that is, it appears to be a man with a child sitting on his lap.
Okay, I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of see it right there.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it again. It's to the left, guys.
Yeah.
I wish I had a pointer they could point out, but no, you can't see my mouse or anything. But
yeah, I was trying to point at it.
Yeah, it's right there.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
It's a wild feeling to be here and you feel like you're being watched, and you go back and look at it and you're like, okay.
That is wild. All right, let me go ahead and play the other one now. Okay.
Well, the other one is just that one. It's the same one, but it's a little bit closer up. I think we'll try to zoom in a little bit better.
Well, let's see. Let's see.
One I haven't sent.
We'll do the close-up one too, so people can see that as well. Not video storage. Hang on a second. Whoop. Okay, local video. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Got the same one. Who's it different?
It's the same one. It's just closer up and slower.
I mean, it's once you know what you're looking for, it's so obvious that that's what it is.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna get like put a circle around it. This is what it is. Michelle Wilfong says great capture. It is really good capture because it really is. It really forms into the dad and the child. What was with the flashing lights? Was there something going on, like a strobe light or something?
My sister came with me, and she had brought this flashlight she had bought for paranormal investigation. One of the features was a black light that had flashed, and we happened to be filming while we were using that. There's an article from when this was Home of the Friendless of a 4-year-old that had lost her parents, is why she ended up here, and she had passed away in this home. So it makes me wonder if her name is Mabel, if that could have been Mabel. I mean,
yeah, possible.
Yeah, it makes you think about who the person is, who the male figure is that she's sitting with.
Right.
If that's the case.
Yeah, her dad had just passed away right before her. He was found in a lake local to here, and she had passed away shortly after she had arrived here with her siblings.
Maybe they got reunited since it's closed.
Yeah,
makes you wonder. Yeah,
that would be the happy ending of the story, I guess. If that
reunited, that would be that would be good.
And you think about, you said it was a retirement home at one point, or in an orphanage, and then like a frat house too. Think of all the different types of energy.
That's a lot of energy
that are all over that house right now. That's man. Did the frat boys have any stories that you know of?
I don't know of any. I know that we still have one of their couches here, and you take a black light to that, and it's pretty spooky.
Yeah. If that couch could talk, you'd probably want to shut up.
Yeah. I was gonna say a couch. Yeah, I don't know. That thing's seen some stuff.
Yes. Some things you just can't unsee.
Yeah. We keep that one with the cover over it.
Yeah,
exactly. That's scarier than the ghosts.
What about any voice captures? Are you guys getting a lot of that?
There's investigators that have a lot of that. I don't keep anybody's things that show it off that they captured for them to use for their own means. So I've seen some. I know that as I was leaving the house one day, I always introduce myself when I walk in. It is a very homey feeling, and I wonder if that is from them being a home for distressed people in different avenues such as that. But I was leaving one day, and I said, well, thank you. I brought some dolls, and I heard a little child's voice from down the hall say, "Thank you."
Aw.
And I was not alone, so I was like, I'm so glad I have somebody with me.
Yeah.
That's the thing with investigation. Like, you get the feelings are part of it. Like, you try to film and do things, but when you're there, it's a whole another level.
Yeah. It's adrenaline.
So it's got that welcoming feeling to it. Do you ever feel like nervous in there for any reason, or?
Yes. I'm a little nervous about being here tonight by myself, but yeah, I try to avoid the basement.
Yeah, well,
I really do.
Usually places people try to avoid in haunted locations, so you're not alone there for sure.
Nobody wants to go in the basement.
No.
Not up-
Besides the which you captured, which was awesome. You have any other like paranormal experiences that you've come across that have affected you?
I've got a handful. I'm trying to remember them all. I think it was the same night that we took the footage of the man and child. I was upstairs by Armstrong and Eliza's room, and I was coming around the corner. I started to come around the corner to come down the stairs, and I just had an eerie feeling. And I took my phone and I turned my camera on to point it around the stairs so that I didn't go head first. I wanted to look first, and it looked like a figure coming up those stairs. So that was me turning around and walking really fast the other direction. There's other stairs and other places I could get downstairs with.
Yeah, that's that would freak me out too.
Yeah, I had to find a different route.
Definitely.
I've been touched here, walking up. We have like swinging doors in the front, and I had held on my arm while I was locking the doors in front of those, and I felt something swipe across my hair and knock my arm off the door, and the door shut. And that it's pretty spooky.
Yeah.
Man, that is freaky. Man,
More often than not, there's something, and I try to debunk as much as possible. And some things sometimes I feel like I'm just gaslighting myself.
Do you ever feel
Yeah.
like maybe like anniversaries or full moons ramp it up any, or is it always just like that?
I think full moons do thunderstorms as well.
Yeah.
It really gets it hopping. I've noticed I've come in here in times where it doesn't feel like there's a whole lot of energy at all. And then there's other times where you pull in the parking lot and you're like, oh, we're going to start now. Matter of fact, when I came to interview, I went to get back in the car, and one of the doors that I hadn't used was showing as open.
Ah.
I used my driver's door, but it's like my back passenger door. It was showing that it was ajar, and it was closed.
You about to have a hitchhiker.
Yeah. Are messing with me.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a particular time of year that it's more active than the others?
I think, and Marianne, she's a manager here. She is a historian and a medium, but when we get more guests in, it seems like it becomes a lot more active. I come in the wintertime when we're not really have a lot of people coming in or out. I'll never get used to that clock. A lot of people coming in and out. It does seem a little stale compared to when we start getting visitors coming in and out and investigating. Like I said, it seems very welcoming, and I think that's they like the attention.
Yeah. That's good.
It's really good for like the investigators.
Yeah.
That they like to be seen and like like to have the attention, because sometimes they can get worn out from all the attention and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you ever notice? Does that ever happen where you can tell like they're okay, we're just tired, you guys need to leave?
Yeah. But I think there's so many to choose from. I feel like sometimes other ones step forward while other ones take breaks.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of years with a lot of different people passing, and we're right by a river as well. So you have that water aspect of this whole situation. So yeah, I can see where they might seem a little worn out, but I just feel like sometimes they're fighting for attention, and other times you just might get a little bit from one or the other.
Means you're probably sitting on a ley line too. Interesting.
I haven't checked into that, but I've heard that before.
You probably are. You have the water. You have I would probably bet it is. I don't know, but I would bet it.
I mean, it could be. I know being next to water is definitely a good conductor for paranormal activity. And there's lots of really cool paranormal locations in Missouri. Were you into the paranormal before you started your job, or did this kind of push you into that lifestyle?
I was into it partly for morbid history, and I wanted to try to catch something paranormal. I visited the Jefferson City Penitentiary, the Bloodiest 48. I've been there quite a few times. And then the Glore Museum here in St. Joseph, the psychiatric museum. I've done an investigation there and some tours. It's just haunted walks. I like to travel, so if I'm in a town and I can get a walk with some old history, whether it's haunted or not, I've always had that interest in what things used to be like.
Yeah, I love a good haunted history. Like you said, those ghost walks. You know, like one of our sponsors is Ghosts of Stanton. Down here in Virginia. I don't even up here, down here, over here. I'm not sure where we are in the map compared to you guys. But yeah, we got Ghosts of Stanton sponsors a network, and I did a lot of work with Haunts of Richmond, which is another ghost tour. It's really cool when you can have someone who's good at telling stories.
Yes.
And they really immerse you in the storytelling and in the history of the location you're dealing with.
Yeah.
You have
like
any
you're there.
Exactly.
Well, Armstrong is from Virginia. Armstrong is from Virginia.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
There's our connection.
See,
our hometown boy. Building the Beattie Mansion. That's awesome. Now, if you want to look into Armstrong's history, come on out to Virginia, see where he was born.
Yeah, we got a lot of good stuff out here.
You know where he was born in Virginia?
I don't remember. I've seen it, but I don't remember exactly where he was born in Virginia. I just know his family came from there, and he had come from there.
Okay, I'm interested to see how close he is to us.
There it is. Evan Springs.
Evan Springs?
Yeah.
What the hell is Evan?
I've never even heard of Evan
Springs. Like Ebbing.
Ebbing Springs. Looking it up. Evening Springs.
Evening Springs? Could be.
I don't know where that's at. Where is that at?
Evening Springs. Sounds like.
Is that northern?
Yeah. Evening Springs, Virginia. Maybe Bath. Maybe.
Well, and maybe it doesn't exist anymore.
Could be. I mean, I know. Back in the day, like hot springs, and like stuff like that, healing waters were very popular places, like tourist attractions, because they believe that anything could heal anything. So a lot of different like towns would pop up around different natural springs and stuff. So it could be one of those that kind of faded from existence once it kind of that phase kind of faded out, because I'm not seeing anything that says Evening Springs on here. Or could be maybe it was part of Virginia, and then
did he pass away? He passed away in 1893.
1878. Now I believe there's another Armstrong Beattie.
Okay, wrong one. That one's from Hampton, though. I found a different one. Okay, wrong one. I'm trying to figure out where this place is. Oh, my goodness, it shows you how much you don't know about your state.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there are a bunch of small towns I've never heard of in
Yeah.
Virginia before.
Yeah.
That's. I'm guessing it's one. It's probably somewhere in the mountains.
Yeah.
That'd be my guess. Has anybody ever seen like a residual haunting of the lady falling down the steps?
Yes, she's prominent. She's prominent to the home. So we do have a lot of reports, especially Michael and Kelly. When they first was in here working on it, she was really interested and curious about what was going on, and probably had a lot to do with scaring off contractors.
Yeah.
Be scared off too. Well, Courtney Rhonda is down in Florida right now, having a good time with her work, enjoying herself. She was having dinner on the beach. I don't know if she's home back in her hotel room now, but she was having a good dinner on the beach. And exactly, Ashley Herndon from the Uncharted Realms is our special guest host tonight. Very excited to have her with us, and excited to be talking about the Haunted Beattie Mansion.
Yes.
With Danielle Bruca.
It's interesting because a lot of times contractors get ran away because the spirits just don't like you messing up their houses.
Mm-hmm.
They don't like change. Which I get it. You work really hard and have something exactly where you want, and here comes somebody messing it up. I'd be mad too.
Yeah. It's just the way I like it. What are you doing? Why are you changing things?
Yeah.
I'll show you. I'm gonna hide your tools.
Well, rock your ladder while you're on it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hello.
I'll show you. That'll get my attention.
I'd be off the ladder. I'm like, let me take a picture.
I might just have to leave the property for a little bit myself. Just saying.
Leave a camera rolling. Hotel room.
What is the best EVP that has been captured that you know of in the house?
I heard one from a guest that came to one of the events, and it sounded like a woman screaming.
Mm.
And it sounded pretty clear. And working in nursing homes and stuff like that, when people start to decline, you can get those kinds of screams, and that's what it reminded me of.
Yeah.
Like it's sad and scary at the same time.
That is.
So much of that, like it's almost so much of that stuff going on throughout the years. It's got to like leave such a mark on that house.
Yes.
That
imprint has got to be really deep.
Because my family, we owned the cabin on 360 in Virginia, and the cabin itself was built in the 1980s, but there was a time when it was actually used as a brothel illegally. And we go out to investigate out there. We'll still hear the activity that took place in that room where the fun stuff was happening.
Yeah.
But you'll still get the moaning and all the heavy breathing, stuff like that. But I don't know how long it was going on. Maybe a couple of years.
Yeah.
Not however long the place was a retirement home, but it's just amazing how, something like that, something so emotional, whether it be sexual or, when it comes to like what you're dealing with over there, how it can leave an imprint
right
on a location like that. And it really doesn't matter. I guess the time frame, how long it is, doesn't matter. Like how long do you have to be doing something over and over again for it to leave an imprint like that on a location? Yeah,
that would be very emotional in a place like that on a lot of different levels.
Yeah. Through a lot. That place has been through a lot of things.
and you dealing with orphans and dealing with like frat parties are emotional,
Yeah.
And
Yeah, people in the rehab trying to reestablish their life and the struggles that come along with addiction. That's all highly emotional as well.
Yes.
There's a lot, lot for this place here.
man, what's up, Sean? I really feel like she was pushed. Oh, you think
The lady on the stairs.
she was pushed down the stairs? Oh, that was an interesting.
Have you ever had anybody report any negative experiences? I know you had a lot going on, but anything that scratching, anything negative?
There's some negative reports for something that's been deemed the creeper. And it's shadow play along the ceilings, and it always leads you to the one room here, and the room is pink.
Yeah.
But that's the more ominous of the reportings. Like I said, with the basement, we were down there and they were doing the Estes method, and I had felt like someone had reached across the back of my head and had their fingers on my forehead, and I had to get out of there. So there's not, as homey as it is, and it really, really is. There's other. You're not going to get 100% just positive
Yeah.
people. There's just too much history. We try to appease that part of it. Like I said, with Marianne, she has done rooms up and for different prominent spirits in the home and tries to appeal to what their likes and everything. Eliza and Harriet and the working girls room, because we took in unwed mothers. Well, I wasn't here, but they took in unwed mothers and sex workers that were on reprieve, a place to hang out and get some rest here. So there's a room for that. And Eliza and Armstrong have their bedrooms and sitting rooms, and George, he's probably an old resident, ex-military, likes to smoke cigarettes. He's got a room done up.
Do you guys ever smell the cigarette smoke?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smoke and sometimes perfume.
Yeah.
I don't know where this ties together, but sometimes you'll smell, maybe it's just the fireplace, but you'll smell like a fire, like house fire, but like a campfire or a fireplace fire. You'll smell that smoke sometimes here.
Wow.
Yeah, I did an investigation at a house in Powhatan, a little plantation house, and you get, if you go close to the fireplace, you can smell the smell of smoke in the fireplace that hasn't been used in years.
Right.
So I can see that why that would happen.
Yeah.
What are some of the hot spots in the house?
The hot spots are by right now, because it kind of changes sometimes, but we really got them at the end of the activity room. I don't know if I can turn my camera. I don't think I can turn my camera. Well, I'll just turn it the old way. So right here we have this activity room in this hallway at the very end. That is where we've really been seeing a lot of activity that we're catching on the security cameras. And then this is over the weekend, the nurses' wing.
Oh, wow.
We had a lot of activity there as well. Those are the two spots right now, but they change. The stairs come and go. Where Eliza had fallen. So
in other words, I need to figure out how far of a drive to Missouri from here is.
Are these the stairs right here where she fell?
That stairs actually is and trigger warning where a lady had taken her life when it was a rehab.
Ah.
And it's
Oh,
that where that cabinet is right there is the old nurse's station where they still have the call lights and everything.
Oh wow.
no.
So that would be on the west side of the house, which is actually was new after the Beatties had passed away. The benevolent ladies benevolent union had built and doubled the size of the home for to take in residents.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. That's some really crazy stuff, man. Do you guys have investigations there every weekend, or is it special occasions, or can anybody rent the house out?
They can rent it out on the website. It books out pretty decent on the weekends. A little bit easier to get in on the weekdays. And some hosts, like the owner will host an event once a year on the anniversary for the house. Last year was 170 years.
Wow.
And we had an event where a paranormal investigator, she hosted an event with different groups, and that was just a couple weekends ago. So it's both ways. But also individuals, they rent all the time, and we have a little guest book, and they can put down their experiences, and I like to read them.
Aw.
Oh, bet, man. That's awesome.
That is awesome.
I downloaded some pictures. I'll put them up there. See if you can tell us what part of the building they're in. If there's any activity that happened in these pictures. All right.
Okay.
Or these locations, I guess. This is the first one, which might be where you are.
That's the front room, the sitting room. This is where children have been seen playing with the chandelier, making the chandelier move in there. That's an old picture because it's pretty furnished now, but there's a piano in there as well. People will play that to try to stir things up. It's terribly out of tune, but whatever works.
I gotcha. Is that a moose? What is that? Is that what kind of
Deer?
animal is that over there?
Antlerless moose. We believe some frat will probably have a.
I got you. Let's see here. What's next here? Here we go. They got these off the Beattie Mansion website, so they might not be current.
That's the dining room. People, and I've been there when people have been touched. They like to touch the hair. There's actual dumbwaiter in there with the buzzer still works. Sometimes the buzzer will go off in that area. That's where when people do host events, you can, people congregate and talk about their experience and have snacks and food.
Nice. Almost looks like a restaurant. The way the tables are set up.
Yeah, they do have a lot of table and chairs.
Yeah.
Pretty.
Is that when it was going to be a bed and breakfast? Is that how they set it up like that? Because it really does look like very formal.
And I believe also when it was the retirement home, there was a dumbwaiter in that, like it would be behind where the picture is, where the kitchen's downstairs in the basement, and they would take the food up the dumbwaiter.
Wow.
Okay. Hang on. Remove. All right. Kevin says this place looks so familiar to me. Like maybe he was there in a past life.
Yeah.
Maybe he's resided here before.
Yeah. I've heard of crazier things. That's for sure.
Yeah. Anything's possible.
Let's see here. And this last one here. This one right here.
Ooh.
This is Eliza's room.
It's Eliza's room?
This is Eliza's room. So she is probably, like I said, the most prominent, and you actually see her figure. I get more reports of seeing her figure than anyone else's in the mansion.
I wonder why that is. The tragic ending, maybe, or
Attachment to the house, possibly. I mean, she didn't have children, so she cared for the house, and this mansion was used for social events and everything for years, for when they had it, and then beyond that, different social gatherings, and so that just could be her caring for the house. They did build it, so she didn't.
Yeah, she's still stuck to it.
It's weird to think about, like, people talking about us like we're talking about Eliza and Armstrong 100 years from now. Like,
that is wild.
Looking at your house or where you live, or just, it's just so, man, I can't even wrap my mind around something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You see these houses and you look at them, you forget that people actually lived there. You see, you hear the history of them, like what happened to them. They passed away, or he worked and he was a founder of the bank, but you forget about their everyday lives.
Mm-hmm.
They ate there, they slept there, they played cards there, their whole lives were in that building.
Yeah. So many memories.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. And I think about the nurses, what it's like to be at work, and you gossip and you have breakups and you have babies and you have, family pass away, and and that's just everybody's day-to-day world. And this happened with untold amount of people working here for, over 100 years.
Yeah.
And a job that's very emotional job, because you're going to lose your clients, and you're going to be attached to them, and then you have your own other side of your life, and all this is the center point of that everything, just the mundane to the extreme.
Mm-hmm.
We all leave our energy on places. I mean, you're leaving your energy, Danielle, in that place. Your energy is now part of it, and so to some extent, our little tiny extent, now our energy is part of the Beattie Mansion, just by us talking to you like that.
And so was Kevin.
Pretty cool. It's very. We can go down the rabbit hole of talking about stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So we're getting close to the end of the show, and I wanted to thank you very much for coming on and talking to us about the Beattie Mansion. And give you a chance to talk about like where people can find the information about it, maybe plug it a little bit, and maybe people want to get people to come out and visit the mansion and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I thank you guys also for your time. You can reserve through the Facebook, the Beattie Mansion Facebook. That moose that has no antlers is the profile picture. His name is Buford. And then there's the website, thebeattiemansion.com. And those are the two places. If you even reach out to me on the Beattie Mansion 1854 on TikTok, I can lead you to those places as well to get your reservations. And you'll be speaking directly with the owner, Michael, or Marianne, the manager, and they will get you set up.
Perfect. And look up the Beattie Mansion on TikTok as well. They got some great videos. Yeah. There's some great videos and stuff on there. And we'd love to have you back on sometime and talk.
Time to add it to my bucket list.
We'd love to have you. I'd hang out with you guys.
Yeah, awesome. Love to come.
Well, we definitely appreciate you, and I know you kind of want to get out of the house because you're by yourself. So we're gonna let you go.
Yes.
And hope you have a great rest of your night, and thank you again so much for coming on the show and talking with us tonight.
Thank you. It was fun.
Nice to meet you.
And we will talk to you soon. Have a good one.
You too. Thanks.
Bye. Yeah, we could talk to her all night.
Yeah,
there's
I'm telling you.
Something we could talk about. tonight.
I think ASPS needs a trip.
Yes, we need to take a trip out to Missouri.
Where's Ed in here?
We need to add it to the put it in the ASPS chat.
Yes, we need to go.
So Kason Lee was talking about the House of Faces earlier, and I've honestly never heard of the House of Faces.
Me
neither. You know about the House of Faces. I don't know about that. But if it's something that was worth talking about, we can have Kason Lee, if he knows anything about it. We can have him on the Freakin Awesome Paranormal Show to chat about the House of Faces. That sounds like a creepy house.
Yeah. Imagine sitting there seeing faces everywhere. No, thank you.
No, I would not.
Not where I have to live.
Experience that. No. I might want to visit a House of Faces, but I wouldn't want to live there.
Yeah, just visit and stay over there.
You stay there. You stay there. So, Ashley, thank you so much for coming on the show with me tonight.
Thank you for having me. I'm so grateful to be here.
Yeah, we appreciate it. You did a great job. And for those of you who have not tuned in to the Uncharted Realms, it comes on every Friday night at 9:00
Eastern.
On Eastern, yes, on the Rift Nation Network. This week they're talking about the Dyatlov Pass, which are probably my spoken English is very bad. LOL. Well, I understand. We can talk. I'll look up the House of Faces, and maybe I'll know more about it. But yeah, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
This weekend, we're this Easter. In Easter, we are going to have the Freakin Awesome playlist. Howie, Rhonda, and I are going to be talking about 1980s soundtracks. Our favorite
that's gonna be
1980s
fun.
soundtracks. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm thinking about all the cool movies now that have them.
Yes. Yes, I'm excited about talking about that. We're going to have a lot of fun. I always enjoy talking about music and stuff like that, especially in the 80s.
Yes. Thinking Breakfast Club. Was that the 80s?
Exactly.
Yeah, the Breakfast Club. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's so much good music.
Back to the Future. Teen Wolf.
Yes.
Great movies. And then on next Wednesday, we have got Ethereal Voices of the Paranormal coming on the show. So that's exciting. And Rhonda will be back from her hiatus, and she'll be here, and we're going to have a good time. And I hope everyone has a great Easter.
Yes.
Enjoys themselves this holiday. Hope the Easter Bunny is good to you, and just remember what the holiday is about.
Yes.
And thank you, Ashley. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I feel bad because I don't call out every person who comments. I try to highlight them as best as I can, but I also don't want to be talking over the guests, saying hi to every person who comes on the show. So just know, guys, that we definitely appreciate you, and we see you, and we thank you for joining us tonight. And
yes,
we'll be back here this Sunday for the Freakin Awesome playlist, and this Tuesday night, same Freakin Awesome time, same Freakin Awesome channel. See you then.
Good night,
Bye.
guys.